Hello and welcome to my video showing you how to sew a cargo pocket. This is the fourth and final video in a series focusing on cargo pockets in different styles. Flat, with zips and hooks, 3D. For each video I will be adding a copy of the pattern used to download for free, and the idea is that these patterns are interchangeable. So you can mix and match the techniques shown in the videos to create the type of pocket you need for your project. Let's get to it. Today's pocket is an all-in-one 3D pocket. So the flap is attached to the pocket, it goes onto the garment as a hold piece. In video 3 we saw how the edge was made from a separate pattern piece. Here it's just folded straight from the pocket front edges. For a cargo utility type garment, I recommend a cotton drill or twill, something quite robust and stable. They are usually strong garments that you can really work in. To begin, we hem the long edge on the pocket facing by folding it under towards the wrong side twice. We sew this with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm using a contrast thread so you can see it on the video, but you will likely want to colour match your thread to your fabric. Overlock the edges of the pocket on the long straight sides. Leave the corner and the flat protrusion. If you don't have an overlocker, use a zigzag stitch on your regular machine. Place right sides together and align the flat facing to the pocket. We will sew at the 5/8 inch seam allowance from the mark point around the edge to the second mark point. Backstitch at beginning and end. Once done, trim the seam allowances down and snip into the circle at the diagonal. You may get away without the snip depending on your fabric thickness. Turn the facing the right way round and press. Here is where you know if the snips are needed. You want it to lie straight. If it doesn't, just go back and snip and turn it out again. Now we do our folds to form our 3D edges. First, every straight edge is pressed under by 1.5 centimeters. At this point, it's good to secure the facing down permanently by sewing along the straight edge of the facing. You won't see this on the final pocket as it will be hidden under the flap, but it will hold everything neat. I like to sew on top of the stitching line that is already there. Now we form our next folds by bringing the two long sides in by 1 inch. We're going to now sew a mitered corner using our folds as guidance. Unfold it and right sides together, align the bottom corner. Sew from the inner fold to the outer fold in a straight line. Trim the seam allowance, turn it the right way out and press the corner. Align the folded edge of our sides with the front edge of the pocket and press. You now have a pleat and can see the shape of the final 3D pocket taking shape. I like to add my fake fastening to my pocket now, so install any hardware. This could be a snap. I'm using a button here because I've run out of snaps. If you want this snap to actually work, you need to install a decorative front on the flap and a working snap inside. The other half of the snap will go on the garment to secure it. Top stitch at the 1/8 inch mark on these two edges. Don't try to pivot at the corner, do 2 lines of stitching and only get the top fold. Pin the pocket onto your garment, catching only the base section on the long sides. Make sure you have a nice right angle at the bottom corner. Now secure the remaining 2 sides by top stitching at 1/8 inch through all layers. Backstitch a couple of times near the flap to anchor the pocket in strong. There is our 4th and final cargo pocket variation. It is slightly different to the previous 3. We have a 3D pocket with the flap built in onto the pocket itself, and the gusset is formed using mitered corners rather than additional edge strips. If you prefer this way of folding, you could do this without the flap, so you would have 2 mitered corners, incorporating it with a flap of pocket 1 and 2 instead. To get a free download of the pocket pattern, hit the links below. I've now uploaded 4 videos. They can all be seen in the links, along with my full cargo trousers pattern. I've made a handy playlist so they are all together. Check it out. And of course, if you have learned, please hit like and subscribe to stay notified of new tutorials. Happy sewing!